Hi, my name is Bridget, and I have redone this intro about 100 times. Hi, my name is Bridget, and welcome to Mind Over Mess. Today, I'm going to be showing you some of my favorite, simple, easy breakfast meals that are also relatively healthy. You don't really need to think about them, and I hope maybe you could add them to your routine. I end up eating the same thing like every week, practically every day. Even I don't really get tired of it. Some people may get tired of it, so hopefully maybe you can add these into the mix. I've been living on my own for the summer, and sometimes it can take a lot of motivation to make breakfast, and in particular when I am prepping for exams, midterms, and I have homework and a lot that I want to get done. It's really annoying to have to take an hour to try and cook something nutritious for myself. And often this applies more to anyone, not just students, but it's sort of a trade-off for having something that's quick and easy versus more nutritional when you get into things that are more ultra-processed. Everyone consumes that stuff from time to time. That's fine. But I think in terms of what I eat for breakfast, I have found some kind of more in the middle, decent meals that are relatively nutritious, filling, have protein. Sometimes that's just adding protein powder. But they're also quick and help me get started on my day without having to think about it too much. So let me know what you think. Subscribe, and I hope you enjoy. The camera quality is not great. The intro is only going to be like this. The rest of the video should be fine. I am in no way innovative with these meals. I don't think I can't really accredit myself to coming up with any of these recipes either, but you will see it's just very simple stuff. I will watch videos just for inspiration and then maybe create my own little recipes or twists on things. It's all super helpful, so take what you will from this video. Alright, so here we go. Recipe number 1, you need a banana and you're gonna need 2 eggs. And so, if you haven't caught on already, we are making some banana pancakes. I'm using some chocolate protein powder because I ran out of vanilla. It still works. It's okay. So, these are pretty decent. They are a little bit more egg dominant. They feel a little bit more like crepes than pancakes, but they still turn out great. I was actually making them for lunch on this day, and I was taking them to the lecture with me, but I will typically make them for breakfast. I would say out of all the recipes I was going to share, this is probably the one that is the most time consuming. Now, I've made it I usually stick to 2 different ways. So I've done it mixing by hand, where I will take a banana masher and just mash up the banana and then whisk it and then use that as my batter. Or my boyfriend got me this single serving blender as a moving gift. I don't know why I'm staring at the camera like that. And I use it to blend it all up into a batter, and that just leaves it so there's no banana chunks. So here I am pouring it into the pan. It's a bit thinner, and I will warn you that I have found that it sticks to the pan, and it's so bad. So be aware of that. Grease your pan, oil your pan, do what you gotta do. And it's great. I find this amount, you can also make it without the protein powder, I will add. And that just makes the flavor a little bit more banana dominant and not as much protein. You can use whey or plant-based. I've used both. It doesn't really matter. So, I was going to say this could be vegan. No, there's eggs, girl. No, it wouldn't. But it comes out good. It makes a decent serving. It's like great for one person, the 2 eggs and banana. It's things that I would eat for breakfast anyways, except it's in a more fun form, and that's always yummy. So they came out a bit more brown with the chocolate protein powder, but that's it. if you're still here, congratulations, you made it to recipe number 2. If you haven't noticed, I'm in my jammies because, say it with me now, meal prep. So, it is the night, and I am about to prepare some overnight oats. So, once again, adding a scoop of protein powder, and the next 2 things are pretty much just for flavor. So, doing a little dollop of peanut butter there. I don't really know. I like kind of followed a recipe. Actually, I'll tell you what I have done is sometimes when I'm low on groceries, but I don't want to go grocery shopping yet, I can submit what I have in my cupboard to AI and tell it, like, make some things up, give me some recipes, and it'll do that. Anyways, maple syrup, and this is actually Nova Scotian maple syrup, but it's just found at the grocery store, and this is also the maple syrup that I would have been putting on my banana pancakes. I do about a teaspoon, and I just kind of dump it in there. Struggling to get the cap on. That's okay. It's nighttime. Oh, what's that? Hey, quick oats, because we're on a budget in this house, but probably use any kind of oats you want. And so I typically measure out about a half a cup. I really stirred at that for a while. I had to crop a lot of that out, dump it in there, and I believe the next step would just be adding our liquid. So I just use water, but I'm sure you could use milk. I actually don't consume a lot of dairy products, and that's not really intentionally. I just don't end up using milk in anything, so I don't buy it, and I save money. Ew, that's a little gross, bubbling. So nice. And now the best step, which is to shake, and I shake it a lot, and I sped it up because I was like, holy cow, it's a lot of shaking, because I don't like the powder stuck at the bottom. Okay, now I'm done. And into the fridge, and it'll sit overnight, soak up. And then once it's done, you can pretty much top it with anything you want, berries, granola, and it thickens up, and it's pretty good. So now we're on to the last recipe, number 3, and apologies again, I am now doing this voiceover while I am sick. So we're starting off with quick oats, and that is the basis of this recipe. This is probably the simplest and easiest one out of all of them that I could possibly do, and this is one that I'll typically do when I'm super rushed. So it's about a third of a cup of like quick oats or whatever oats you want to use, and then it's like 2/3 of a cup of water. That's sort of the ratio that I go for. And then you could even just heat this up, boom, now you have oatmeal, great, that'll get you through the morning. However, what I started doing is adding frozen fruit to it, and you're probably like, wow, Bridget, I do that anyways, but just give me a break. I just discovered this recently, I don't know why. But so while they're frozen and I haven't cooked my quick oats yet, I will just sprinkle a bunch of frozen berries on top of it so it looks like that. And then I'll go ahead and pop this in the microwave, and I'll usually add about an extra minute to it. Then, yeah, so usually I do 2. I'm doing 3 now when I add the frozen berries on top. And I'm waiting. Sometimes I'll do a little dance while I'm waiting. That's actually true, too. I think I just am also not really used to recording myself, and it's like, I don't really know. But yeah, I don't know, what do you do when you're waiting for stuff in the microwave? Because I'll typically just stand around. It's like, I don't know what to do with myself. So once it's done, it comes out and it looks pretty good, but I usually like to give it a mix, and this kind of stirs up all the berries. So I just take a spoon, I guess you could use whatever tool you want, and I stir it up real good, because the berries is sort of what makes this meal exciting, right? It gives it the flavor, and it feels like you're eating some sort of crumble. You can also top it with anything else that you want. You could probably put brown sugar in it. You could do anything, which is why I think I love oats so much and why I use it in a lot of meals. So yeah, it's so great. And then it looks kind of like that. I think it looks so yum. I know maybe it kind of looks like throw up to some people, but I think it looks so good. It's my favorite. And I was looking in my fridge this morning, And I also noticed that I had some leftover eggs, and so this was kind of an aside because I also had some more time this morning. I don't think I had lecture, and I think I had just come from the gym. I think that's why I'm in work clothes. So I had some leftover eggs, and I scrambled those up for myself, and I think I added some salt and pepper and whatever, and that just added some extra protein to my meal. I don't really typically add anything to my eggs, so scrambling them for me is a very, very quick process, and that would honestly be a runner-up. Would be making scrambled eggs in the morning. Can take me like 5 minutes because just let the pan get hot, oil it, grease a bit, and you got scrambled eggs. So this is what my meal looked like for the morning, and I had some black coffee with it. It was so good. It looks so good looking at it. Ugh, I just love when there's more color. I know it's not that colorful. You're probably like, girl, it's not that much. But anyways, that's it. If you like this video, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. That's about it. I have some exams coming up, and end of August I'm actually moving out of my apartment that I'm in right now, and I'll be moving back home. So the setup is going to change probably pretty drastically. I'll be in my parents' house. So I probably won't be figuring out a set upload schedule until I am back in and adjusted to my new environment, because that can take some time for me, but I will figure it all out. So I will see you next time.